Mark your calendars for January 22, 2025. That's when Samsung's Galaxy Unpacked event is set to unveil the Galaxy S25 series, which means we are not far from now to see Samsung's future. Rumors about what will be shown during the event, including new phones and software, have abound. Many, though, would be asking how they could be able to view the event. One can keep current with the event and everything being announced in numerous ways. On the day we will publish all of the news and our impressions, for example, we will have a live blog. However, for those who like to see things happen in real time, we have the answers. Galaxy Unpacked happens in San Jose, California, Wednesday, January 22. The event gets underway at 1 p.m. Eastern Time and 10 a.m. Pacific Time, 6 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. Now, there are a few of other venues where you may view the show. While you need an invite to see the presentation in person, Samsung will be live streaming the event for everyone. Public viewers may thus view on Samsung.com, Samsung Newsroom, the official Samsung YouTube channel. Not only will you find the live stream on these sites, you can also find the trailers and teasers hinting at what we could anticipate to see at the event. Samsung hosts 2 Galaxy Unpacked events annually usually. The event coming in the second half of the year tends to focus more on foldable phones, like the Galaxy Z Fold 6. Meanwhile, the first Galaxy Unpacked of the year is primarily focused on the core S series. This year, we are expecting to see a decent lot of new hardware, alongside some significant software and AI developments. Here's everything that we believe will be unveiled at the event. 1. Samsung Galaxy S25 series. As noted before, the first Galaxy Unpacked is the time when Samsung debuts its flagship phones for the year, and 2025 promises to be no different. The greatest announcement will, presumably, be the presentation of the Galaxy S25, S25 Plus, and the S25 Ultra. So far, we have heard a lot of speculations and conjecture about the future devices. We have heard that all 3 phones will come with the Snapdragon 8 Elite CPUs and speculated design tweaks as well. We have also seen a comprehensive release of what is purported to be the specs for each phone. There's even been mentions, official and otherwise, of increased AI features on all 3 phones. It isn't all good news though, as there has also been suspicion that Samsung is driving up the price of the gadgets. There have also been some criticisms that the stated specs don't seem to give much of an upgrade at this stage. As such, Galaxy Unpacked is the time when Samsung needs to show off what these phones can achieve. 2. One UI 7. Alongside the phone, we are almost surely going to learn more information about Samsung's long-awaited One UI 7 interface. Now, to be fair, we know this is going to be a factor simply because it has been linked to the Galaxy S25, therefore, there is no way it wouldn't be unveiled at the same time. Hopefully, the event will expose some of the new features for the upgrade, as well as details on when older phones will have access. We have a basic notion of what the update will bring owing to a recent beta for the Galaxy S24. For instance, the beta contained the writing assist tool that builds on the same functionality released with Galaxy AI. There's also support for call transcripts in several languages and updates to security. Finally, the betas offer fresh looks for the lock screen, including a redesigned navbar. To make use of the discount, all you have to do is visit to the Samsung website and reserve your gadget. There are no obligations, and you don't have to put any money down. All you need to offer is your name and email. In return, Samsung will offer you $50 off of any pre-order placed after the event. Samsung generally adds some form of pre-order deal when it comes to its new gear, and this Unpacked is no different. Considering the reports of a price jump for the next generation of Samsung phones, the reduction should come in very useful. 3. Project Moohan. Samsung just announced its answer to the Apple Vision Pro, dubbed Project Moohan. According to a recent blog post, this XR headset is stated to be based on the Snapdragon XR Plus Gen 2 CPU and looks to be capable of running numerous separate windows at once. The headset also allows users to shift between 2 settings named Home Space and Full Space. Home Space is a multitasking view with numerous app windows and what seems to be your real-world surroundings in the background. Google has also stated that the headgear would allow several inputs, including eye tracking and voice control. One of the most crucial issues Samsung needs to answer during the event is how much the headset will cost. One of the greatest difficulties with the Apple Vision Pro was that it was simply way too pricey for the typical consumer. Hopefully, Samsung's version is more inexpensive, but only time will tell. Next, we are just over a week away from the Samsung Unpacked event, where the Korean corporation will formally introduce the S25 series. You'd think the leaks would calm down, but not so, as we received another leak featuring promotional shots of the next flagship phones. The photographs from leaker Even Blast for their newsletter show both the S25 and Galaxy S25 Plus closed up in a dark blue colorway and a silver-looking perspective. The blue tint seems to extend up the camera ring, something that we hadn't seen in prior image leaks. Outside of that, we noticed the curved corners and the ringed camera lenses with a little different aesthetic to the lenses compared to the cameras on the Galaxy S24. The second image shows off the S25 Ultra with a S Pen in one corner, the newly curved corners, and a silver hue. It also shows off the narrow bezels of the panel, which we've seen in prior leaks. One notable highlight in the S25 Ultra image is a little glance at a new Galaxy Air function that appears to be the Now bar. The Now bar is a feature announced for the One UI 7 operating system upgrade that Samsung teased in December. It appears similar to Apple's Dynamic Island feature, using different live widgets contained in an pill-shaped interface. Ideally, you can monitor these widgets via the lock screen, instead of opening up your phone. According to Samsung, the lock screen will gain a new notification system that distinguishes priority notifications to enable faster access from the lock screen. This specific graphic shows off the Now brief, which looks like it will showcase highlights. Next, T-Mobile has enabled Starlink satellite messaging beta for some Samsung Galaxy users. Here's what we know. Several individuals who signed up for the T-Mobile satellite messaging service beta have claimed that the function has been activated on their smartphones. The carrier started registration for a direct-to-cell satellite service beta test with Starlink in December. The initial word of the beta going live came from a user on Reddit, who reported that they were admitted into the carrier's satellite messaging beta with no notification, text or email that it was accessible. The service was activated for them on their Magenta Max T-Mobile plan. The user, Rooster Intelligent 32, also shared a screenshot of the satellite messaging choices. The illustration offers us some indication of how the feature will work. It appears that devices will connect to satellites as soon as the phone leaves network range, and will immediately reconnect when back in range. The blog also cautions that, for the greatest results, users should keep a clear view of the sky. Once your phone has linked to the satellite, you'll be able to send and receive texts. In select regions, it will also be possible to send text messages to emergency services. The picture also explains that connecting to satellite networks is likely to take longer than a steady network connection. The link can potentially be stopped by specific constructions and weather. Unfortunately, it is also evident that making phone calls over the satellite link isn't possible. However, calls to emergency services may get through if you're close enough to a cell network. This isn't the first time that we've seen the satellite service on a phone go active with no warning. For instance, back in May, some users for T-Mobile reported that the functionality had gone live on their handsets after the release of the Android 15 Beta 2. Meanwhile, we got a proper glimpse at how satellite communication could operate thanks to a recent report that got the capability operating in Google Messages. Satellite messaging will likely not touch many individuals in their day-to-day lives. However, it could benefit people in situations where their phone is otherwise useless. For the time being, we will have to see how well the functionality functions when it officially rolls out. Next, the S25 Ultra camera rumors look pathetic. Here's why I think it could still trump the iPhone 16 Pro Max. I've finally come to the understanding that Samsung's unlikely to bring back the 10x optical zoom camera for the Galaxy S25 Ultra. And you know what? I'm absolutely ok with that. Last year's big controversy around the Galaxy S24 Ultra abandoning the 10x optical zoom lens for a 5x one was received with lukewarm comments from people who've loved the long-standing functionality. However, I've seen how Galaxy AI helps to offset this shortcoming. Actually, I only need to glance at a recent flagship Android launched to convince me that Samsung doesn't need the 10x optical zoom. That phone is none other than the OnePlus 13. For years now, OnePlus phones have trailed the pack when it comes to having one of the best photography phones around. Yet, after shooting 200 photos with the OnePlus 13 versus iPhone 16 Pro Max, I'm confident the gap has effectively been minimized. That's most true for the OnePlus 13's zooming capabilities. It may have the shorter optical zoom compared to the iPhone 16 Pro Max, 3x versus 5x, but it provides crisper and more detailed telephoto shots. This is credited to the OnePlus 13's enhanced picture processing algorithms and AI advancements. The method is extremely stunning in reality. If you watch the video I shot above, you'll see exactly what happens during this process of taking images using the OnePlus 13's 50 megapixels telephoto camera with 3x optical zoom. I'm unable to read all of the tiny type on the map from across the room, but using the OnePlus 13 exposes all of the things my eyes can't make out. I can also tell that there's a lot of processing that is occurring behind the scenes to adjust the image, since through the phone's display, those words still appear pale and fuzzy. But when I go back to preview the image, they're absolutely clear. In order to get a better impression of the OnePlus 13's telephoto capabilities, you may browse through all the photographs I captured above with the OnePlus 13 and iPhone 16 Pro Max at 5x and 25x zoom settings. For having the inferior optical zoom, the OnePlus 13 seemingly captures the superior telephoto images. So that's all we know for now. We'll be sure to keep you updated as soon as we have more information. Thanks for watching.